Now, unless you've been under a rock, there's been Switch 2 rumors and leak nonsense non-stop since the beginning of this year and the end of last year. But I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty quiet the last couple of months. Ever since that internal delay had been rumored that Nintendo was pushing back the Switch 2 launch to the beginning of next year instead of the end of this year, it's really just been completely silent from the entirety of March and all the way up to April. We're still waiting on Nintendo to announce something, a Nintendo Direct, a presentation for this new console, just the announcement that this new console exists, something. But recently, just the last couple of days, we've been getting tons of information. A lot of this new information is coming from a Nintendo Switch accessories manufacturer and just lots of other sources as well, reporting on apparently some big things coming to this new console. Well, if you didn't know, there's been a lot of stuff announced already about what this new console could have, and I can give you the lowdown on a little bit. But for instance, we have a little list here, thanks to mynintendonews.com, that suggests, 1, the Bluetooth chip for Switch 2 will support existing Joy-Con and Pro controllers, and still features HD vibration. So yes, you can still use your old Pro controller and Joy-Cons on this new unit or system. Switch 2 has backwards compatibility with Switch 1 cartridges, but Switch 2 cartridges will be different and won't fit on Switch 1. This is something very similar to the Wii U, where you could play Wii games on the Wii U, but you can't play Wii U games on the Wii. Obviously, new console, it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, also, it probably would have to be backwards compatible. There's way too many Switch games out there. 3, the new Joy-Con are larger and are magnetically attached to the console with an electromagnet. The SL and SR buttons are metallic now, and there's a new button behind each Joy-Con. And I'll put up a picture on the screen right now where that button is apparently supposed to be. So I guess it's like a little adaptive trigger or an extra button just there, like a paddle. And a new button below the home button on the right Joy-Con. Once again, I'll put a picture up on the screen for you. So I'm getting like Wii vibes with this, like the 1 and 2 buttons, the little small circles on the right Joy-Con, and then like the B button on the back that they're gonna add. So yeah, it's kind of like Wii motion control vibes. But number 4, the dock still has a USB-C port and will also support 4K image output. Yeah. Really? Really? I mean, I just still find this thing so hard to believe. Now, obviously, it would only be in docked, but 4K Nintendo console just sounds nuts, even just speaking that. But we're just gonna have to wait and see with that. Number 5, the new kickstand also has a damping bracket on the back for improved angle adjustment. Then number 6, the screen is bigger, up to 8 inches, and the resolution is upgraded to 1080p. So yeah, it's just some like little upgrades to the console. Looks like stuff we've been hearing about and talking about and stuff non-stop. Now, where does this get interesting and where does Pyoro come in? Well, Pyoro jumps in actually on Twitter to actually talk about this because a lot of people has been sending it to him in his DMs, and this is what they had to say about this. Pyoro states, "To those sending me this via DM, it appears that this info has been divulged to some manufacturers and Nintendo influencers in China for a while. Such info has been mentioned in some private discussions, while my main source can't verify it." And then follows up by saying, I mean, such info has been mentioned in some private discussions before this report. Oh boy, things are starting to heat up now. Now, of course, Pyoro did state that from their direct source, they can't verify it yet, but they have been hearing rumblings of this stuff happening before this report came out, which is very interesting. It's not a whole lot of information to go off of with that, but yeah, still the tweet does say that it seems like a lot of this information is, becoming more and more correct. More and more stuff is coming out. Leaks and rumors are popping up again right before we jump into the month of May. Is it finally almost a time for us to see this thing? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about for the rest of the video. I don't know, man. It is so strange. I seen the report yesterday that, one source was claiming that there's still a chance for this thing to come at the end of the year. And I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. But it kind of still, in a way, makes sense, if you know what I mean. Nintendo has a pretty big investors meeting in May, which pretty much lines up the rest of the summer and everything, and gets investors ready for what they're ready to announce and stuff. So Nintendo, I would assume, and I think a lot of people also assume, that they have to announce something soon. I mean, like almost May soon. And I have it in my head that there could be some type of, at least announcement or even a presentation of some sorts in May, with maybe a bigger blowout in June. is what I'm really holding on for and what I'm really hoping for. But also, Nintendo's lineup is what's really throwing me off right now. I really expected there to be a general Nintendo Direct by now, or at least a mini kind of slating out some games for the rest of the year. But the fact that Nintendo doesn't have anything after Luigi's Mansion 2, which is coming out in June, I believe, is really insane. I mean, the last two games is Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, which is a remake, and Luigi's Mansion 2, which in my head is just a remaster. But yes, that's just kind of odd. That's the only thing that we know right now. And I will admit, an empty slate this late into the year, we still don't know anything about the holiday, really makes me want to think that there's a good chance that maybe Nintendo is going to release this console this holiday. I'm on team no. I don't think it's happening. I think next year's the time. I think they're going to do something very similar like they did with Mario Wonder and just announce that there's a new Mario game coming, or, you know, this summer during the June or presentation, whatever they're gonna do. But yeah, I think there's could be like a June Nintendo Direct, or even like a mini Direct, just to say, hey, here's some ports, remakes, remasters, whatever left we have in the tank possible for the end of the Switch. And yeah, that's enough for this year. Switch 2 next year just makes a lot of sense, but like, yeah, everybody's just sitting here around in a big circle of waiting and just saying, okay, if it is happening next year, isn't it time for it to be announced soon? And I think it is. All these reports are coming out recently for a reason. All this stuff is adding up. Pyoro's finally chiming in. I hate to be the one to generate all this hype, and then once again we go throughout the month of May and nothing happens, so I'm not going to be the blame for the hype this time around. I'm just going to say this. Look, hype responsibly. Yes, it makes common sense for Nintendo to do something very soon. I mean, even as early as next month, but it's Nintendo. Nintendo is infamously known for doing whatever they want. You know, they do their own thing. You know, there's a chance that we don't get anything until June. There's a chance that we don't get anything until September, which would actually break me down and miserable as we wait. But also remember, with Switch 2, there's going to be new games. You know, we have to get some trailers for some games. And normally, you know, let's say the Switch is coming out in March, the new Switch. They have to reveal some games before, you know, the end of this year. Like, they got to get like a cycle of people getting excited for these games. Like, they would have to reveal the next big Mario game if it's a launch title, like soon, like the next couple of months soon. So just hold on a little while longer. Be a little more patient. I know we've been saying this all year. Just be patient, but just be a little more patient. May or June, something is going to kick off. Some type of information, I'm sure. But just wait a little while longer. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. What do you guys think about all this? Do you think there's something coming soon? Let me know in the comments down below. And make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo. And I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.